What is up, everybody? This is just here bringing you with a brand new video today where we're going to talk about the new Forbidden and Limited list that is going to be used for Worlds. Now keep in mind this is not going to be the list for the entire format, so don't get your hopes up. This isn't official. This isn't an official ban list. However, it is a tournament exclusive ban list, and I want to see what might actually be possible. The reason for this is because, I mean, they might actually do some of the things on this list that they're going to be doing here. So the first thing I want to mention is that you can't use Dark Side of the Dimension movie. You can use cards from Dark Side of the Dimension effects, but you cannot use things from Dark Illusions, including Magician's Robe and Scapegoat. Not sure that those cards matter. I'm pretty sure Magician's Robe is pretty useless without the rest of the Dark Magician support and Dark Illusions, but whatever. Anything. If Forbidden list is very different from the usual Forbidden list, please reference this list very carefully when building your deck. As per tournament, possibly if your deck contains anything Forbidden cards or more than the limit or limited and semi-limited cards, you will earn a game loss penalty. So basically, the same rules as you should expect from anything. So. Yeah. So on this thing, you don't see too many out of the ordinary stuff. Apocalypse 4 Towers, Cyberjar, broken stuff. But we see Visions of Faith Man already. Wow, I didn't think that card was too good. Actually, I thought this card was awful. Almost. But I mean, I guess it's cool. It's cool to see it here. What else is here? They still have some pretty good stuff up. Wind Up Hunter. Now this is actually really interesting because I think that if Wind Up Hunter switch places with Wind Up Carriers and Matey, the Zen Matey would probably be perfectly balanced. But it's pretty interesting to see it here. So we'll see how this works. They have Monkeyborn Band. They might actually do this in the TCG. I kind of don't want it to happen though, but I do agree that one card scales are kind of meh. They're not very good. So I think this card's fine being banned. I wouldn't be surprised if it did get banned. Elder End and Inordin is banned. Goyo Guardian is banned. Exciton is still banned, unfortunately, but Zamite is still banned, so I guess it's not balanced after all, so whatever. Chicken Game is still banned. Emergency Provisions. This is actually interesting. There's a reason why this is banned, and I actually think it's a very good reason. There's also another card called Mystik Walk down here that's pretty banned. That's banned over here too. The reason why these cards are on here the way they are is because if you some people would side deck these cards in final matches and stuff like that. They would play 2 to 3 copies of this in their side deck, and when it goes into time, they would play this card, select a monster on their side of the field, and basically win the game from there because their opponent can't do anything because they're stuck with some of their monster. Plus, there's also some OTKs influence with these cards, so it's good to see that these cards are not going to be seen, I guess. So nothing out of the ordinary here except Raigeki. Raigeki got banned, so RIP. So we're not done with the ban list stuff. Life Equalizer got banned. Rainbow Life. Now the same kind of the same reason why Mystik Walk and Emergency Provisions got banned. So it's good to see that here, I guess. Try and Guess. Now, for those of you who don't know what Try and Guess does, let me pull it up real quick because I don't think people might not understand why this is here. I should have been more prepared for this, but I guess I'm not. I guess I wasn't. Try and Guess. It is a trap card that if each player has an extra deck, you could declare one monster card from both of them. It has to be Fusion Synchro Xyz monster. Both players reveal their extra decks, and basically it just burns them for or just basically gains them for a lot of life points. So basically, it's there to stop people from extending and basically stopping things from being dumb. Also. Next we have limited cards. I think this is limited cards. I think it's transitions from banned to limited cards. Right? Or are these banned cards still? Are these banned cards still? I think these are banned cards still. Oh, that's banned cards still. Oh my gosh. There's a lot still to go over. Sky Dragoon's Draconia. Don't know why that's important. Extinction on Schedule. I'm going to pull this card up too. It's not a relevant card in the slightest, but both players, during the May phase, to pay 2 life points, both players send all cards they control to the graveyard until at the end of the 3rd battle phase of this card's activation. So basically what it is depending on the game state, or depending on the board state as it stands right now, you basically destroy everything on the field. It removes it. It doesn't kill it. It doesn't destroy it. It just sends them all there. So Cosmo stuff. This is interesting. Kaiju stuff. Anything that's not anything that's not OCG yet. Even though they are getting it, just it's not allowed like Ultimate Providence. This card would probably be fair. So Magic Cavalry Kicks Club, also, so that's pretty good, pretty interesting stuff here. UDD, Yujo Friendship, and Judgment of the Pharaoh. It's really interesting to see this card on here, simply because that it doesn't really make that big of a difference. Also, there's a lot of promos on here that are banned as well. It's interesting to see. Essentially, Sky Dragon is banned, which is really weird. But there's a lot of promos on here that are kind of just banned. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess. But I don't know why this is important. I mean, I know that Yujo Friendship basically says let your opponent take a handshake or not, but whatever. Next, we talk about the limited cards. Minerva's on here. That's interesting to see, at least. I don't think it'll ever be limited, considering in the state of where it's at right now. So I think it's fine. Fraternity Archfiend, that's not really big of a thing. The Necrophist is back at 1. That's interesting. Starstare Sovereignty. I guess they don't want that happening. They put one at Magician back at 1. Wisdom Eye. Blaze Phoenix Bombardment Bird. This card should probably be limited. The reason why is because there's so many OTKs that are generated in the OCG because they have Cyberstein, even though it's not even on here anymore. But regardless, I think it should still be limited. I think because it just opens way too many OTKs in my opinion. So that's fine. Dante is interesting. Dragon's Ravine is limited. Rip Dragon Rulers. I saw something else here that was kind of interesting. Where is it? Book of Moon is apparently still too good. Mass Change 2, that's kind of acceptable, I guess. Primal Seed. Primal Seed's back to being 1. Let's see here. Symbol of Heritage. I know why that's not here. I know why that's here. Basically, what they're trying to do is that they don't want FTKs taking the spot. They put Sinister Shadow Games to 2 or to 1, even though the deck would be dead otherwise. The deck is still dead because they have Construct at 0 still. So, and El Shaddai Fusion at 0. So I don't see why this is a problem. They kept Allure of Darkness at 2, which is interesting. So they also put Atlantic Dragoon still at 2. They put Reborn Tenga back to 2. I'm not sure how relevant that is. So probably isn't relevant. Solemn Warning, all that stuff. I'm surprised Solemn Strike isn't on this list because Solemn Strike is a very good card, and I think you're going to see that card being played at 3 in every deck. But they did something that caught the Monarchs though. They put Pantheism and Domain to 1, which is really interesting to see because I guess they just don't want it taking Worlds. I guess because I mean they saw what it did in both Nats. It was a very top contender. It took at least it was the top 3 deck, if not the top 1 deck of that format. So they're kind of just saying no Burning Abyss and no Monarchs, which is really weird. They're also saying no Cosmos. So you basically have to go in with something really interesting. I'm not sure what you're gonna play. You could probably play like Perform Palace because it's not terribly dead because you still have access to Joker, Lester Pendulum, Pendulum Sorcerer. Pendulum Sorcerer is that one, by the way. You still have access to some of the other stuff. You have access to Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk is that one, by the way. But I don't know what you're going to be playing in this format. It's probably not going to be Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss is not going to take Worlds. Neither are Monarchs, but Monarchs might actually be reasonably okay because they can still go into their extra deck and stuff. Pantheism is just a means to an end for them. It's just a consistency card. I don't see Monarch Stormforce on here. I don't see Monarch Stormforce on here. Is it not on here? Because it probably should be on here, because that's like really stupid. Because Cleafarts are still okay. Actually, Card Demise is not on here, so any Demise deck is okay. So you can play Ascendu Demise, you can play Cleafort Demise, you can play Gravekeeper Demise. Anything that revolves around Demise decks is still pretty good, except Cosmo Demise. But I don't see what else you're going to be playing. So I'm going to take a really retarded guess and say that your Ascenders is going to take Worlds, Clayforce is going to be, or your Ascenders or Clayforce are going to take Worlds, and then some form of Blue Eyes variant will be somewhere. I think Blue Eyes actually might be very popular in this format since it's not, I guess, that big. Or since the majority of the cards are out, and since this thing doesn't say that you can use the Dark Side of the Dimension movie pack, so I don't know. I think Blue Eyes, you send you Cleaforts. What else could be here? I guess Lunalights. Lunalights is kind of a functioning deck. Dynamis, Shiranui. You might see these two decks somewhere. Probably not in the top spots, but you might see these somewhere throughout the event. I don't see what they could possibly do. I don't see what is necessary or what will win this event. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with some bit of an uncertainty. But apparently, Magician of Faith is broke. Well, let's all get that out of here. Magician of Faith is broke. So let's just clear that out here. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll have